What it is, you guys. It's Yo Girl Cadillac. Yes, I am Cadillac Dixon. I'm the Draw My Life prison wife. I'm the legally blind artist that is rapping and painting for justice, hoping to see justice before all face to black. Yeah, his ya girl Cadillac. I came out to the park this beautiful Saturday morning to record a video, chop it up with you guys. Yes, I got my car parked up under a beautiful tree, providing me shade. See, not the type of shade that some people provide me. I'm talking about that real shade. Anyways, guys, I am going to continue on with my cycles in life, the things that I have become cycles in my life that I believe are holding me back and holding me in one spot when I've been ready to progress forward. So far with that series, I have touched on the relationships in my life and the cycles that are holding me back there. I also started touching on yesterday the cycles that are pertaining to my job. And any job I've ever held, those cycles kind of hold me back because I am a artist. I'm an artist. I'm not an employee, though I am an employee. But I wasn't created to be an employee, which many of you may not have been either. But we find ourselves stuck in these jobs, unable to live our lives because of the jobs take up too much of our lives. And by bills getting so freaking darn expensive, many of us have two jobs that are making sure they take up all of our lives. So I am trying to wean myself out of that. I am a recent, but not so recent now because time has gotten away from me, college graduate. I graduated now 2 years ago. And I'm finding myself still clocking into my 9 to 5 when I struggled hard through college as a single mother, trying to do everything with my daughter as she was a high school student, getting ready for everything, getting ready for college herself, getting ready for prom, getting ready for graduation, doing all of that planning while working overnight in a laundry room and going to school myself and doing an internship and working full time. Baby, all that struggle just so I can keep clocking in? No, we have got to find a way out of these cycles. I have got to break that work cycle. And it's very hard because every day you plan to do something and oops, it's time for work. Gotta cut that short. And like last night, when I got off of work, I got off a little earlier. I got off at 10:30 and I planned that, okay, I got a good 2 or 3 hours that I could work on my stuff. Baby, I was going to bed. I laid on that bed and was gone. I laid on the bed with intentions to uploading my video, not going to sleep. And I was so tired from work, hands throbbing, carpal tunnel. Oh, girl, I woke up 3 to 4 times last night because of the pain from the carpal tunnel in my hand. Yes. So here it is the next day, and we're dawning on time to go back to work. So I haven't got much done in between. So that's what kind of keeps you in that work cycle until you can find something, a different way to pay your bills. You got to report to that job. So I will continue on with those cycles because there's a lot of bad cycles in my life that I believe are keeping me stagnant. I don't want to be stagnant anymore. I most likely am halfway, at least, through my life. And I do not want to live the second half of my life the way I live the first half. So this is basically a soul searching, get yourself together, come to Jesus moment in my life. Yes. And I'm just taking y'all with me. So maybe y'all need to come to Jesus too. So we can go on together. Go on together, girl, and get it together so we can live our best lies for real. Like Snoop said, living my best life. Ain't going back and forth with you. Living my best life. Yes. But when I did wake up this morning, I had another topic on my mind. So a lot of times I don't dream that often because I don't get to sleep that often. So, it takes you, if you know anything about science, it takes you a while to even get to that REM sleep where you are dreaming and actually resting. So if you never sleep long enough, you're not getting into the sleep that causes rest for your body. And I usually do that. I'm laying down for just long enough that's why my body never recuperates. But a lot of times when I do get to that sleep and I dream or I wake up with something on my heart, I believe that's through God. I need to act on that. I need to do that. So what was on my heart, the topic when I woke up this morning was trauma. Trauma, because trauma will keep you stuck. There's a such thing as trauma bonds. You bond to people through trauma that has happened to you. Now, in my situation, I'm not sure how much trauma, like really traumatic things that's happened to me, have to do with how I am. But there are some things that stem from back to childhood, which I need to do a whole video about that. The things in my childhood that I believe caused me to be this over empath that's always willing and ready to help and actually always there to be taken advantage of. I'll do that in a separate video. But a lot of people, those bad habits stem from traumatic things that happened in their life. So I'm just going to go through 3 traumatic things that happened to me. As you know, I am looking for a counselor. I have this young lady that I work with. She's a beautiful young soul. If y'all could meet her or if I could ever get on the channel, girl, beautiful person. And she could be the reason that I'm still working where I work, because possibly God has a plan. Well, God has a plan. He got a plan. So it's probably certain people that are aligned to those plans. So just to tell you a little background, I met her. She is much younger. She's a little older than my daughter, but it doesn't matter. God can use people of any age. Any age. It doesn't matter. Not too young. You're not too old. You can be used by God, right? So I'm not a talker. So if I talk to you, people are like, wow, I never heard Keita talk. But she actually, but then it also begins where a lot of people, just because I don't talk, they just walk back and forth past me and never take the time to talk to me, which is fine because I've been traumatized by people. I don't necessarily want to deal with people because people have their ways and right? So this girl is not scared to talk to you. She's like, she always starts up a conversation. Tell me a story. I'm like, story? I don't know what story. And she'll start a whole conversation. And I don't even know how we got on the topic. But we were talking about the things that I went through as a single mother. And then she was like, oh my gosh, my mother was a single mother and this, and that. So somehow the topic led to my mother and how I lost my mother. And that is I don't really talk about that a lot to people. That's a sore spot. That's a sore spot, girl. So I ended up like telling her that, so that I keep a lot of that inside of me. I don't let it out. And then somehow it ended up on the topic of Marcello. And I guess because she was like, so why are you a single mother? Did he just leave? Blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to tell you the truth. So I told her the story, but I expected the same thing that I always get. People like, oh my gosh, why don't you just leave him? And they don't listen to the full story, the aspect or whatever. Her response after telling that story was, oh my gosh, there's got to be something we can do. There's got to be somebody we can reach out to. There's got to be somebody that can help us. And she went home and she told her mother, and her mother have been helping me find resources, different people to speak out to, different people to tell a story, and they're keeping me on track, because for me, I will turn Marcello's story into somebody and I'm like, oh, they said no. And she's like, no, you need to call them again. Let's get back on let's see who else we could. It's like causing a fire under me that I am in a point where I'm giving up. I'm just being honest with you guys. I'm giving up. I'm getting weaker with this situation, and it's to the point where I can't do it no longer, which sucks. It would be much easier for me to walk away from this situation if there were somebody else aiding and assisting Marcello, but Marcello has nobody. Nobody is stepping in to assist with reaching out to people. Nobody helped get him a lawyer. I basically had to get all my resources together myself, one person. When Marcello has issues with the prison, I am the only one. He has like one cousin that will make phone calls on his behalf, but besides me, all the time, everything falling on me, I'm the only one. When he's going through things there, nobody else will lift a finger. They won't lift a finger to help him. So that kind of tells you how much. So I have to stay. He has nobody freaking else. And I know I don't have to stay. I know I don't have to. But my heart is telling me to stay. This man, he actually does need me at this moment. I'm the only one that knows his case and his story, which is sad. I feel like every one of his family members should know his case inside and out. What if I passed away? Nobody knows anything. Nobody continues this fight that I've done for 20 years. He's just gone from out of sight, out of mind. Like, I wish more people were willing to help in this situation, but they're not. So that is amends that I have to make with myself too. They don't care like you care, Keita. They're not going to help you. Stop looking for their help. Stop looking for their assistance. They're not coming. But this person that barely knows me, we just worked together for a few months at that time, and your mother, who don't know me, you just told a story about me, are so touched that they want to assist. That girl, that blew my mind, because people, not even my own family, want to really help. So that's so special. That is so special. But I told her that story, and she actually have been trying to assist. So before I get into these 3 traumatic situations in my life, let me back up. Y'all know I was a rapper. It's getting kind of hot. Hold on. And because I've always technically been a loner and never really had many friends, nobody to release all the bad feelings I have, I would release it through writing. So I've wrote many songs about things that really bother me. So I'm going to spit a verse. I don't know if I need to really go into. Yeah, I'm going to spit a verse that I kind of wrote about one of these situations vaguely, and then I'll go into more detail. Okay, this one is called Deep-ish. S-H-I-T. I was working at the Super Center, and I was rapping with this dude named Jay Black at the time. We kind of were a duo, so he came to me with this song called Deep-ish. And he ended up going off to jail himself, so that didn't continue. And then there was this one moment where another guy asked me to be on his track with another female rapper, and I was like, okay, so I got this verse, let me use it for that situation instead of the first situation. So it's called Deep-ish. Okay, I'm sorry, I gotta curse because it's part of the song. Okay. And this is deep shit. You wanna hear it? Listen clear. I said it's deep shit. I'm about to spit it in your ears. Now let's go back some years. I think I was only about 6. My baby cousin died before my eyes. Ain't that some shit? Now let's fast forward to the year of 98. I lost my grandmama. Yeah, she died on Thanksgiving Day. I truly missed them. But life, it must go on, ready or not. This is life and here it comes. It dropped another bomb on me in the year 2002. My fiance got a raw deal, now his release 2K42. Too much stress on me. I dropped out of college, now I'm working this dead-end job. And nothing I seem to accomplish all my hopes and dreams. They gone down the drain. Seems the only thing going now is this music thing. It's now or never. Either I'm gonna sink or I'm gonna swim. It's like I've been held in the water too long, and now for air I'm gasping. And nothing happens for no type of reason. All this shit that I've been through done strengthened me. Now it's my season. Yeah, it's your girl Cadillac. So 2 of those 3 traumas I mentioned in that verse. The first part, when I was only about 6, I was 5 to 6, my baby cousin died before my eyes. Ain't that some shit? That was some traumatic shit, for real. Back in the day, it was the 80s. This is a time where we're in Florida. Wasn't all this crime in Florida, wasn't nothing happening in Florida. Florida was beautiful, like really beautiful, quiet, country. It was really country. It was laid back and everything. So in that time, kids did, the parents would go off to work and kids would stay home by themselves. So my sister was 9 going on 10, my older sister that just passed away. She was 9 going on 10, and I was 5, almost 6. And I remember we were at home and we were watching this show called The Elephant Show. I don't remember what The Elephant Show came on, but give me any heart emoji if you remember The Elephant Show. That means you round my age, girl. That skinamarinky dinky dink, skinamarinky. I can't even say I love you, skinamarinky dinky dink, skinamarinky doo. If y'all remember that, yes. I remember that day we were sitting there watching The Elephant Show. Me, my sister, and my little baby cousin. I think she was just about 2 years old. And my mother was at work. And my sister, she was trying to find us something to eat. So she gave my little sister, I think we had hot dogs. Not my little sister, my little cousin. We had hot dogs. And my mother had previously told my sister, don't give her no hot dogs. Don't give the baby, the little cousin, hot dogs. Because she would do like this gagging effect. So don't give her those hot dogs. Okay, so my sister is 9 years old, the oldest one. And I'm 5. My sister gave her some chopped up hot dogs. She chopped them up, gave her the hot dogs. I believe she chopped them up. I really can't remember. I think she did chop them up. And all I remember is my little cousin choking. And we're freaking out. We're like, what in the world? We don't know what to do. We didn't know CPR. We didn't know the Heimlich, like how to stop somebody for choking. The only thing I think we knew was kind of to sweep your finger through their mouth to try to get whatever they're choking on. And I remember the ambulance coming and they took her. I seen her on the ground. The paramedics, they ripped her shirt open. And I mentioned to my sister, they ripped her shirt. Why would they do that? And she was like, Keita, don't worry. I'm going to buy her another shirt. I'm going to get her another shirt. So she was gone, taken to the hospital. And The next day, we weren't told what happened. We didn't know anything. We just thought she was okay because she went off to the hospital, and the hospital fixed people. At that age, we don't know anything. Next thing I know, my older sister is gone. I'm like, where's my older sister now? First my little cousin, now my older sister is gone. Well, my little cousin passed away. She passed away from choking. She never made it. She was so beautiful, had the most beautiful curliest hair. My mother was in love with this little baby. And later, I find out where my sister is. They had taken my sister to I don't know what to call it. It was like a mental health facility because she felt like she, was at fault for what happened. So for a while, my sister had to stay in that facility. Me and my father would go and visit her on the weekends. And I remember at 5 years old going out there to see my sister. I used to love my sister so much, looked up to her. She was so beautiful, so special. So I would go up there, and I remember playing the game of life, which I was too young at that point to even understand that game. But I remember we played the game life there. And I remember, I don't know, it was never really explained to me what happened. And for years, my sister carried that burden that she is the reason that my little cousin is not here. Though it was an accident that never could have been. But yeah, that was traumatic. That was very traumatic. Wow, it's a bright, beautiful day. I said I might as well get out and walk and tell you the second traumatic part or traumatic thing that happened in my life. Okay, the second most traumatizing thing that happened in my life was in 2002. Now, y'all probably know this one. 2001, we have to rewind a little bit. I had just had our daughter, Money, my beautiful Money. She's so cute, isn't she? I just had her. Y'all gotta know Marcello. See, y'all don't know Marcello. That's why a lot of people are so easy to say just leave him. Marcello is a one-of-a-kind person, human. You will never meet another Marcello Jackson, just as I'm sure you'll never meet another Keita Dixon. You're not going to. This man was so genuine. He was so nice and caring of others before himself, just as I am. I remember when I told him I was pregnant. I expected the worst. I expected him to be like, what? This and that, and how do I know it's mine, and stuff like that, which I was only with him. But that's what you expect. What I got was us taking a walk and me telling him, and him kneeling down and saying, what? I'm gonna be a father? And I'm saying, yes, you're going to be a father. And he's like, oh my gosh. And he just started talking to Money in my stomach, rubbing my stomach. And once I had Money, I'm telling you, it was like he took her and ran off. Just like, you know how Michael Jackson back in the day, rest his soul, had took his baby and ran and just kind of held it over the little banister and stuff so everybody could see. They said Michael Jackson was in love with that child. That's similar to how Marcello Jackson act. He was like so excited. He took him being a father, he took that very, very seriously. He didn't have a father in his life, and he always mentioned that, and he always mentioned that he was going to be the best father that he can be, despite not having a father. He was going to be the best. Marcello went with me to every single doctor's appointment. When we went to get our sonogram, the sonogram done, the doctor immediately hands the sonogram to me, and he's like, what the heck, this is my child too, like, don't I get a copy? Like, he was so, he made himself included in everything. He was overly, like, joyed and overly present, right? I remember he went to every single doctor's appointment, and there was one that I had forgot to mention to him, because I'm the scatterbrain. I'm the one all over the place. I'm the one that can't keep it together. And I've always been like that for years. That's why we talk about breaking cycles, right? So I forgot to tell him. I go in, before, they go to check the baby, I'm just sitting there waiting on the doctor to come in. And the door opens, and it's Marcello. And I'm like, hold on, how you even know? I didn't even tell you. He was like, I'm not going to miss not one. Didn't I tell you I wasn't going to miss not one doctor's appointment? So he comes in, and he's like, I'm shocked because I didn't even tell you. And he was like, you didn't see me flagging your car down? I seen you drive past me. He was at the bus stop. He was like, I seen you drive past me, and I have to be there. Like, I can't miss this appointment. He was so overjoyed. He was there. My mother was like, y'all are young, and, he ain't even going to do this and do that. And he proved otherwise. Before our daughter had insurance, he was the one working and paying for, like, those first few visits after you have your baby or whatever. He was there. So imagine all this love, and I'm just overjoyed with love. If you ever had a baby, that feeling, oh my God. You can't even believe this feeling. You can't describe this feeling, but it's just so much love, joy, and peace in your life. And when you're experiencing it with somebody that you love and that loves you, it's even more that way. So it was just this burning love inside of me, right? That hunker burning love. I don't know if it's gonna rain now. I done got out the car. It's windy. So anyways, that's how our life was. We were on cloud nine. We were in love. We were just waiting to save up some money to get our own apartment, so that we can, live our lives, get ourselves together. I was going to go back to school, this and that. And a night in August happened, the day before school in 2002. I do have other long drawn out videos explaining that, so it'll be best if I just link one of them in the description box. And if you would like to see how he was wrongfully arrested and convicted, then you can go through that. But I don't want to make this too long because I only got 10 more minutes left here. So he's gone. And that night I was doing my cousin's hair. Marcello said he was going to call me. I had just dropped him off halfway to his cousin's house because Marcello had to live house to house to house. He moved here from South Carolina. He moved from house to house to house. So he, at that time, was going down to his cousin's house. And he said that he would call me. I didn't like him being in his cousin's house because of the neighborhood that it was in. It was in a bad neighborhood. But he is grown, and I'm not his mother. So there's nothing I can tell him. He's a grown man. Okay, so I didn't get a call from Marcello. Anytime Marcello said he was going to call, baby, he was going to call. He was going to make a way to call. I didn't get that call, but I get a call the next day, and he's crying. He's like, this red band on my arm. This red band. And I'm like, Marcello, what the heck? What's wrong? Are you in the hospital? Are you what's going on? He's like, they got this red band on my arm. And I'm like, Marcello, what does the red band say? And he's like, it says life or death. Like, life or death? What are you talking about? Where are you? He's at the police station. That started it off. And I'm only like 2 months. My baby's only 2 months old, right? So this whole future that we plan is crumbling before me. And I'm thinking, no, we got trial, we got different things. This is just a test. This is not gonna happen. But when that trial happened and that judge hit that desk and said guilty in the highest on 6 charges, I'm like, I ran out the courtroom. I ran in front of the courthouse and laid in the street. I couldn't take it. You taking my heart. You taking my everything you're taking it. There was a bit of hope when I seen his lawyer come out, his public defender or public pretender, the actual public deliverer, the one that made sure that this wrongful conviction was secure. He came out and he was like, do you know why they charged Marcello? I said, yeah, because he's black. And he was like, yeah, to be honest, that is the only reason. But now you're going to have to find somebody that is going to fight for his life. And he said, you're going to have to appeal. And from that moment that he told me that, that was basically saying to me, there's still a chance. There's still a chance. So I fought and fought and fought. We didn't go quite to sentencing day. He did tell me that the judge won't go less than 17 years. So I'm thinking, great, he's going to come home right before our daughter that's just born is 18. Are you kidding me? So I'm like, okay. Sentencing day is coming. We can talk to the judge. We can get character statements. I went to everybody. Wouldn't nobody write no character statements. So I was basically one. I think a couple of his family members came and made statements, but it was basically like, just give him another chance, which he wasn't even guilty. Like, I don't understand, give him another chance. And I stood and I begged and pleaded and cried in front of this judge and said that he is helping me take care of our daughter. What do I do when you take him? What am I gonna do? And that judge looked at me and said, if Marcello was my son, I would want him to have another chance too. But the fact still remains that if Marcello Jackson was not caught, these 2 guys would be dead. I'm like, how you escalate this to dead? Nobody was shot, nobody was hurt, nobody was outed in no type of way. What do you mean he would have been? When you go to trial, they are going to throw the book at you. They're going to gather everything they can find.